in this video, I'm going to show you a realistic day of street photography. I think there is a little bit of a misconception out there that so many street photographers, particularly you see on YouTube, they pick up their camera, they go out for a walk, and every photo they take is brilliant. And in the interest of complete open transparency, particularly on my part, I want to show you what a realistic day of street photography looks like. So today, there's no plan, no agenda, no set goal, nothing. We're just going to go out there, take photos and see what we can get on a day. It's quite average, you know, quite overcast. It was sunny today, but the light's going a bit flatter, so a little bit of a challenge today at least. But today is just more about showing you what a real day of photography or street photography looks like. Let's get started. So in terms of gear, all I've got is of course the trusted XT2 coupled with the 18 to 55 today. I thought that could give us the best chance of kind of like more versatile. I thought rather than sticking to a prime, I thought I'd go for a wider angle one, just because I thought, I mean, if there's no kind of set goal, we're just kind of winging it today, this might give us probably more flexibility. Track back to what I said earlier about being open and transparent. It's like, you know, and how many people conceive that street photographers nowadays just pick up their camera and go out there and take amazing photos. So I'm not suggesting that just because I do YouTube, suggesting any way that everything I do is brilliant. That's just all what I wanted to get out there in case anyone misconstrues or misinterprets my words that I'm trying to say that I'm any kind of like great photographer. This is just more about kind of like just showing, like, from my perspective at least, the realistic world of what it is to be a photographer. That it's not about, it doesn't matter how successful you are, how popular you are on YouTube, or how many followers, subscribers, nothing to do with that. It's just more about giving you a realistic taste that we all see the world like, we all have the same environment. We just don't always, you know, everyone kind of has their own, challenges and more kind of obstacles. Right, I'm rambling here. Let's just take photos actually. Now here's a great one here I found here. You've got these two kind of like sets of wooden doors. It would have been great obviously to have like a subject kind of walking through the middle if I could line them up perfectly just there. But unfortunately, because it's the weekend, like where I'm at is in the financial sector, so the banks and businesses are all closed today, but it at least forms like a decent kind of shows an example of kind of symmetry and somewhat minimalism in a way. This is a little bit more challenging than I expected, because even though town is quite busy today, I'm struggling to kind of like pick out kind of like characters and kind of moments at the moment, and almost actually I'm kind of struggling to get into the flow. So the photos I've taken are just photos, to be honest. There's nothing really kind of noteworthy or kind of like, you know, they're not exactly going to be ones to be remembered. But I suppose that is the point of the video actually. It's just to show you that it isn't always always going to be finding that massive rhythm. You're always going to be kind of like, no, it's not always, you're sometimes going to be struggling, but we'll press on. Have missed, unfortunately, quite a lot of photo opportunities because the light is constantly changing. So right now the sun has come out. When I started the video it was overcast, then the sun comes out, then it's behind the clouds again, out behind, so it's constantly having to configure the camera settings. So it's just kind of like a day of struggle today. I'll tell you another thing that makes this a very realistically average day of street photography is that I've just realised I didn't charge this battery. So, egg on my face, I forgot to charge it, which means we don't have a lot of battery life left. So this may end up being a short video. But it's been okay so far. I mean, it's been, you know, sun is out now. As I said earlier, it's like it's out, then it's gone, out, then gone. So it's been a realistically average day. They just kind of like show the process is not always as fluent as you might think. Today I've kind of been hit and miss, so really kind of struggling to get a bit of flow, a bit of momentum going. But it's just all part of the process. You've got to love the process, you've got to love the good days and love the bad days, if you ask me.
Make us mad as someone said. He's a hero of a day. Takes a man.
Got this really good pocket of light there you can see, but what I do is kind of like expose just for that, so that the shadows, which you'll see obviously on the camera here, you can see the shadows in perfect detail, but on the camera what I'll do is I'll de-expose for that. Again, I like the context of this little route here. I wish there was a bit more shade and more contrast, but people walking through there just creates a kind of nice, just a nice environment, kind of like a city, kind of a classic kind of city escape example. So just after I took that last shot there, my camera battery died. I don't have a spare on me, so it looks like we're forced to wrap up the video there. Mixed results today, some decent, some terrible, some not so great. I think the basis of this video was to actually prove that, look, okay, not every day is going to be mega productive and you're not going to get tons and tons of great photos, but there was the inner photographer in me did hope today I could at least achieve some good stuff. But look, that's part of the process, as I always say. So we'll wrap it up there. I mean, I do hope, as always, you found the video somewhat helpful and reassuring, that if you're someone who's very much like me at the very start of my photography journey, and that I just felt that there were certain photographers out there who could just make something out of nothing. But I think there is, to be fair, a growing kind of movement that photographers, bigger photographers, certainly bigger than myself, are proving the fact that it isn't just, they don't create magic every single time they pick up a camera. But with that, we'll wrap it up there. I hope you found it helpful again, and thanks very much for watching. As always, we'll catch up again soon.